Godspeed to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The laughs so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild. The moonlight, the summer sky, it was the best we ever had. And we'll stay on forever. We'll never have regrets. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be.
Good afternoon. It's 7 minutes past 2 apparently here in Central Europe, and I hope you guys are having an absolutely wonderful day. Good afternoon, Hella. Good morning, Jessica, and good morning, Susan. Jessica says she's working on some flea crochet project. The first one like this, it's on a graph only. Ooh, so you need to be focused, definitely. I got a parcel today. I did decide to try out something that I used to do when I was younger, but I haven't done for years. Which means I ordered myself a skipping rope. Because that is a good way to get a little bit of exercise in. I am starting to explore the world of what they call macro training. Macro training is basically, or not macro, micro training. It's kind of like this idea that you just take out 2 to 5 minutes here and there during the day to do some exercise, which will be better for your body in one way or another. So it's not exhausting in the same way as if you would go to the fitness center and work out for an hour and a half. So I kind of hope that might spike me to get a little bit more done. So I was like, okay, I should be able to do skipping rope like 5 minutes a day. Maybe not in the beginning, but in a month or so. Plus, it's tiny, it's small, it's easy to bring with you on the go when I'm traveling. So that was basically my idea. So Jessica says I would love to do that, but I'll have to tape the girls down. Well, I have a good sports bra somewhere. And I am actually going on a little outing tomorrow, which means that I'm going to take the bike and I'm going to drive all the way to the city of Arnhem. From where I live, that's probably forth and back somewhere between 20 and 25 kilometers bike ride, I would assume, depending on how it goes. I will go with my in-law. We are gonna have lunch there though. But the idea is I want to get a new bag for my bike. The ones I have isn't like ideal, and I can always get an extra sports bra when I'm there because I would definitely need a sports bra. Rev just missed the fact that I bought myself a skipping rope. Which it arrived earlier today. So my goal is to start doing skipping rope up to like 5 minutes a day. That I should be able to get into a shape where I should be able to do that. Maybe it's gonna be cool, maybe it's not. And I got one of those that has a dual function, which means that it both has the rope, but you can also detach the rope and then add on some shorter ones, which just have some weighted. So it's like these are like maybe this long. I don't know, the length of a crochet hook, maybe. And there are weights in the end. So basically, you just like don't have a rope, but you can then use them indoor, which is cool because then I cannot use the weather as an excuse for not getting on going. And the skipping rope is a part of my newest profound idea that I need to adapt some micro training into my daily life, which basically means I need to find 2 to 5 minutes here and there during the day, multiple times, to do some exercise. Whatever that is. Push-ups is definitely not my thing, but I'm doing something that's like you can do push-ups in a way to kind of make it easier for you. And see, I used to be able to do push-ups, and then when you don't train for a long time, you lose the core strength of your body to do so. So for me, it's about I need to do some sit-ups and I need to do that, but I don't necessarily want to do that for a full hour in a day. I just, if I have a minute here and there, why shouldn't I be able to do 20 sit-ups? I just need to convince myself to do so. Anyhow, I still have my 7mm hook because my title says a lot today. I thought I had finished the waistcoat last night, but I don't think I have. Well, technically I have. I am just missing to cut the yarn and weave in ends, but guys, I still have an issue. Meanwhile, Rev says, never been able to good at skipping rope, just end up smacking my shins. Well, so that's the point of the non-wired ones. Like, you have these short wires with the weighted things in it, so you can like actually do them inside and outside. Burpees is a good workout. Military, yeah, definitely. They're a nasty good workout too. So my challenge is I need to take care of my knees as well. So depending on how I do certain things, yeah. But the idea is there definitely. Anyhow, look, fluffy skein. So what is my problem? Everything except for the bottom bit around is, yeah. Everything but the bottom bit around. That wasn't what I wanted to do, was it? No, that was what I wanted to do. Everything but the very bottom bit around, it still kind of curves out a bit. So I actually have the waistcoat right here for you guys to see and show. And you know exactly what I mean. It's still so basically I've concluded that the side and the front is perfect now. The neck is actually pretty okay too, I would say. This is the neck bit, I think, at least. I don't have you guys in camera. There. This is the neck bit. That looks good. Like, it's not curvy at all. But getting down here, this kind of curves outwards. So, of course, the neck is a bit shorter piece of all the stitches. So maybe that's the reason, because I did the exact same thing in the neck as I did in the bottom part. So what I did was I removed the chain between the 2 double crochets in each of those spaces. Here in the corner, so there is a bit of a corner here. where you kind of like have them sewn together. I do a in this side I have a double crochet, which I then work together with the first double crochet of this side to kind of decrease the amount of double crochets. That works nicely. I'm happy with that, but the bottom bit still looks funky, as if, you know, if it would have been this much longer, I would say if that probably been perfect for my ass. And the side also works up really nice, but the difference here on the side is that the distance here between the gaps where they worked into is longer than they are down here. So what I'm thinking I may need to do down here, you can't really like, it's sort of visible that you have some gaps here compared to here, but it's not like huge, but it's huge enough. So my idea is I need to frog it and I need to redo it. And then skip a few where I do double crochets and only do single crochets. But I need to do math to make sure it kind of evens out. That would probably work. Generally, I think it does look better now without the added chains. So it's definitely better. It's just not quite there yet. Back in high school, I played American football. The worst thing we had to do was, I am censoring this for YouTube, was sew sides where you had to touch the back of the end zone, run to the front, touch that, and return to the back of the end zone, and repeat that for every 5-yard line. Oh my goodness. We need to consider the fact that right now I am in insanely poor shape, and what I mainly need to obtain is just general health and fitness, I guess. And I like the fact that the skipping rope is something I can easily bring with me. I still also have a fitness bike. I probably really should use more often. I have options. I mean, it's just making excuses not to. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna take on this and I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna have you guys help me assess. This is the right side. Yeah. By the time you got to the front of the end zone, you're questioning if the future existence was worth it as the name. I can imagine. Oh my goodness. So as I mean, you know, it really looks nice on the just on the front bit here. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can actually manage to read at the same time. So this is the west. Looks good. Like this bit looks good. You have to say, like, neck piece, right? It looks nice. It's snug. It's good. Win. Problem is the bottom bit. Let's see. I'm trying not to bring the yarn all the way with me. I am gonna do the cheer bit to the side. But if, like, look, it still fucks out there. So it looks a bit funky, right? We need to kind of bring that in. So maybe that would be brought in if, let's assume, I did button it up like that. But it still is a bit loose here. So I guess we need fewer stitches. That is my end conclusion here. But looking at it on the front side here, and looking at it, anything above the dark here, I would say it sits pretty good. Like, I'm pretty happy with it. And, you know, I just need to lose like 5 to 10 pounds and I could even button it close if I wanted to. But I mean, this is kind of... So my issue is only this button one, because the front bit, there is nothing. It doesn't, yeah, it doesn't do crazy, right? It's just nice. And the neck, I don't know if you can see enough of the neck. I'll get down on the chair. The neck also, I think, looks good. Well, you can see that better than me because obviously I need to look back, but the neck doesn't do funny either. The downside is, to fix this, I need to frock the whole thing, like the whole row. But I think that is what we have to do, because it does look funny, right? So there we go. If I didn't know what to do today, we're gonna frock a row, because yeah, it does look a bit like, yeah, it sucks. Susan is laughing. Football, had to say it, but yes, I would frock that. Someone get a bucket with some water for tadpoles. A frocking we shall go. Yeah, that's gonna be what's gonna be, right? Positive thing is, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a quick fix, but because it is like the longest row of them all. But now I know what I've done. I just need to figure out how many fewer stitches can I put in. Ooh. So I want to have you guys enjoy the frocking adventure. Let's see. Light today tells me that we need to fix light here, so I'm not always sure. Sometimes, like last time, I hadn't needed to change the light at all, and today apparently we need to. I don't know what's the difference. But the problem is basically not so much the side, so like the front panel and the neck. It's all the bottom. It's all here down bottom. All of this. But you can even see it on this piece and this length. It gets extra, but how much extra? And the only way to fix this is to frock it all. Well, actually I need to turn it this time way around, but that is another story. So I guess we shall go frocking. The only real question I ask myself is, what can I do better? Because we do have this floppy skein. Do I really just want to flock to a big pile next to me, which I probably could do if I'm clever? Wait a minute. I have my box with my scraps in it. I can take those out. Because those scraps I definitely don't need. And then I can put my skein in there. Then we frock down into this, because we're going to use most of it again. Not all of it, but most of it. And then if I frock it down there, oh, maybe I should put the next box on top. If I frock it down into that, at least if I need to move it around, I still keep it somewhat contained. The hope this is not gonna yinkle yankle. Hello, Himanishni. Oh, I'm not able to sure if I can pronounce this. Himanishivanisha. How old I am? I am in my begin 40s. That would be the most correct. I am born in the middle of the 80s. And I am frocking today. Then once we've gotten all the way around, we are gonna do some math. Because I mean, the corner here I think is good. You need a little bit of length to do corners. So I did the extra stitches to kind of fix the corner. And I think the corner down here was okay. I could still consider maybe doing a chain if that would look better. I would have to check another corner. But the real problem is basically that because here every 3 stitches, or every 1 stitch, because that's in between. So for every 3 stitches I put in 2. But here I have a treble crochet where I also put in 2 every treble, and the treble crochet are slightly ever so longer than the the stitch width, and therefore I think is what we have the issue, because the front panel and so on looks great. So I need to get X amount of fewer stitches in. So I need to do math. And I may need to do a little bit of math here on top of the neck, but it's only like 1 or 2. So we do need to figure out how many fewer stitches I need to add into this piece. On August 16th, so it's almost your birthday, Jessica. Another 9 days. Girl, enjoy your 30s. Once you hit 40, the whole world feels like it goes crazy. Nah, it's not that bad. But I mean, I really have the feeling that the past 5 years I've gotten really old. And the explanation, or 6 probably, is that part of the explanation for this is likely COVID. Point one, I had so much luck that I even had COVID. COVID is the reason I got back into crocheting. But what I mean here is during COVID, we weren't allowed to go out much. All the events that I used to participate in weren't there. I wouldn't get out to training because the club had closed down. There were so many things I weren't doing. And then I got this very, very poor job for my soul, in the sense of I was just sitting down and I didn't move. And I didn't have to move to get to my job either, because I was working from home. That was probably the worst thing that ever happened to me. My current job, I don't need to move either to get to work, but I have much more freedom to move during my workday because I can spread out my working hours. I could technically work 2 hours in the morning, do something else, work another 2 hours in the afternoon, do something else, and work an hour in the evening if I wanted to, which allows me freedom to actually exercise more than I had when I wasn't. So good. Stitch marker. Hey, Rev's birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday. Because if I have forgotten it on Monday, I'll better have said it now. Happy birthday to you. Okay. How many? So these are the center pieces. So they have an extra stitch, and there will also be an extra stitch in this side because I saw how much space otherwise that would be. So that's not going to work otherwise. But what I need to know is how many of these roomies do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, which is not completely that. 16. So let's try again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. 30 is not a bad number, because I'm thinking I could try. So with 30, you can divide it either into 2 or into 3. So what I could do is 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, or I could do 2 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, etc. What I probably best could do is to measure and compare the height of those. And here I mean, because here the distance between the gaps are bigger than they are here. And here it's perfect because that's on the front panel side. This is the bottom, and the gaps are so much narrower, but that was to keep it more aligned with what it was, right? So, oh, so you're all August children. Wonderful. I am a January child, so my birthday is in January on the 16th. Lots of Christmas parties in December, so therefore a lot of August baby birthdays. Oh, possible. Or because December and January is colder months, so therefore you get lots of childbirths there too. That could also be because people go home in the cave. And back in the days, there wasn't that much on TV either, and it was dark, so people did other things. I need to behave. I mean, so that's 2. It's basically almost a whole centimeter. Almost a whole centimeter. So when I do, well, here it's not. Here it's more like 5. So if I do 5 here, well, that is 3. So here I do 3 on the same distance I do 2 here. 2 here is 4. 3 here is 6. Well, that's not going to work out, huh? So if we do 3 heights, that's 6. Then we'll do 2, 3, 4, basically, at least. Yeah, so I could do 2, 1, 2, 1. That might actually work. Not completely, but that's what gets closest. So what we are going to do, I think, is we're going to try. This is called how to adapt a pattern to different yarn. And that's a good thing about crocheting. I mean, if this has been knit, oh my goodness, I'd be crying. You share the link above. I need to pop up. You managed to. I totally missed this bit. It was because I was frogging, I think. I managed to finish up the final donation blanket for the batch. Got them washed, dried, and boxed up for the shipment today. Came out cool. Looks like the carp. Oh my goodness, my computer does funky. It came out cool. Looks like the carpet in an arcade. Oh, it does. Yeah. Give me a moment. Just gonna pop over. It definitely does look very arcadey. Absolutely. It is nice though. Nice and colorful. So I do have 30 on each side. Then I need to count when I get up there too. But I may have to do the same. Here I have 2 in the middle, but they are a little bit denser. So I should probably start with with the 2 double crochets, and then we'll do 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, and then hopefully that will be bringing us closer to something nice and neat. I mean, what was that? Oh, there's a bug in here. Where did that fly to? Okay, now it flew away. It's like I don't know. Oh, wings. Probably enjoys nighttime more than daytime. One of those moth-like type. So the good thing is if I remove so with 30, I divide it by 2, that's 15. So I'll remove 30 double crochet stitches on this bottom piece. Hopefully that does the trick. 30 stitches is quite a bit. I mean, you know, I think what I did already kind of helped a lot. But I would rather have the feeling it was too little. So like I removed too many stitches than I removed too few, I guess. Because bottom line is I've done a fair few. frocking so far, and I kind of getting to the point where I'm not really in the mood to frock a lot more. I need to get some yarn up here. Pulling it up. Oh, not single crochets. The benefit, of course, is now we are still working with a 7mm needle or hook. It goes nice and speedy. This is almost a hook for you, Rev, the prim hook, because it's quite long. So it's quite friendly for long hands. The only downside this one has is with acrylic yarn, it does squeak a bit because it's plastic. It is an inline hook. I have all of the sizes they have. They go from 3mm to 15. So it's like 3. Then I think there is some 0.5 millimeters. I don't think they have 3.5, or do they? Then it's like 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, and 15, something like that. They might have 3.5. Yeah, they do have 3.5. I used the 3.5 ones for something. It's really nice with wool, and they are also technically woolen, like meant for woolen ergonomics. On the upside, my shoulder is starting to feel better, but it's going to take it easy in the next couple of days. I have a grinding square I need to make before Sunday, but that should be easy. Yeah, do chill. Don't work yourself too hard. I mean, if we finish this one today, I will continue with my shawl. I was thinking, because I was starting to find the things I needed for the bat, and then I was like, oh yeah, safety eyes. And then I was thinking, I'd rather have the safety eyes where, I don't know how to explain that. I need something round. Measuring tape here. If we assume this is a safety eye, it's nice and big, so it's nice to display, right? So if we assume this is a safety eye, you can get those where the colors, like where the eye, the black bit, not the iris, but the pupil, is like more located to the side rather than just being centered. And I think I'd rather have one of those. I mean, that looks cuter, and I don't think I have. I will need to go through my safety eyes, and if I don't have, I will permit myself to order myself some safety eyes. Dum dum. That actually matched up perfectly, which technically was a bit more than a stitch, but that's all right. Then I'm gonna see how that works up to the end, if I'll have an extra or not, but it should be all right. So yeah, that's my current thinking on the safety eye bit, that I'd rather want to do something along those lines. I think that's gonna be cuter. And then we'll probably head into the world of amigurumis next week. I also looked at my agenda. Compared to travels and whatnot. Yep, hit the like indeed. I will be bouncing out 10 minutes to take the doggy to the vet. Hope that it's just allergies or dust or something for the cough she has. But the stream running for the view. Thank you, Rev. I hope all the best for your sweet doggy. And maybe we'll still reach to catch each other later, depending on how long it takes at the vets. Regardless, yeah, all the best. I hope that it is less concerning than it sounded like. So we need, the real question is just, did I want to add, let's just see what happens if I add a chain in this corner. But what happens is I get a gap, which I don't like, so we don't. Just did what we did in the first round, which I was kind of happy with in any case. So it was just more now I had the opportunity to check. And now when I'm thinking about it, I think I did the exact same thing when I worked on this last evening. And last night, I did luckily, and I'm really happy I did this, I took it with me upstairs, because upstairs I have a really like almost like a floor to ceiling mirror, not completely, but it's as good as my height. And I took it on and I could see the issue on the um, bottom bit. And therefore I knew I was likely going to frog it. And I'm really happy I did that before I cut the yarn. I hope you'll be back, but yeah, I just, more importantly, I hope it goes well at the vets. Also, don't forget to hydrate. Rev, don't forget to hydrate before you leave. Today my tea is just a classic. It is it's a Mediterranean orange tea, so it's a black tea with Mediterranean orange flavor. It is still a little bit warm, so I am a little bit cautious. Anyhow, I knew, and we just agreed that the front were perfectly fine. So all the front bits, we are gonna do a regular 2 double crochets into each stitch. What we should probably do, and I feel that's probably the most appropriate, I should insert a stitch marker, and we should look at this bottom bit. Is it less curvy? It still has some, I would say. But it seems less, right? Yeah, I think it's good. I hope it's good. I mean, I'd be really sad if we have to frog this one again, and then we still conclude it. Yeah, but we should be fine. I hope we should be fine. Pray for me, please. Anyhow, it's Friday, which means that I officially have weekend from work. Ooh. I also look at my agenda, and I'm gonna tell you guys something super scary. I have like no free Saturdays until like November. Isn't that insane? Like every Saturday there's something. Um, of course, one of them I'll be in Denmark, so I don't know what there is on the. There might be a birthday. That might also be on the Sunday, on the day I go home. But we did agree with the family that depending on what day they do, depends on if they go to one or the other location, because um, yeah, we combine birthdays to make it easy for all of us. And one of them is not that far from the airport. So if it's going to be on Sunday, then obviously we will be at that location. But I don't know yet if it's going to be Saturday or Sunday. For me, it's also not important because I just need to know where I'm going to heading to. It's not like I have to do any cooking. So that is reasonably positive, one would say. And then, as I have this goal, unless, of course, and this is where I really hope nothing of all this starts to change, because then I need to start figuring out how I solve all of it. But hopefully, on Tuesday, we get good news. I don't know yet. We could also get less good news. But my mom should get scan results, which means, depending on, as long as they're as they are, and we are not in, like, as long as it's in remission, or you know, it's not getting worse, then nothing changes. And then my plan is to go home in November again. So I'm going home here end of August, begin September, and then the next should be November. Um, and I've been looking at flight tickets again, and one of the flights is also one of these crazy ones, but it's not via Amsterdam. That one is via Paris. I mean, that's even more ridiculous. Well, not completely, but I mean, it feels equally ridiculous. Um, we'll see. Nothing ordered yet because I'm still missing some dates and other things. So before I can really start booking those, because the better is the further in advance I can book my travel tickets, the cheaper it gets. I mean, if I first book like 2 weeks in advance, they'll be at least 100, 150 euros more expensive for the exact same travel, and we are trying to avoid that. I'd rather pay the minimum. Ooh, we are popping up towards the neck, so what I should do, I need to do another, well, technically I just need to do one. No, because that's on one of each side. What did I do there? What did I just do there? I don't remember anymore. Well, I do, technically, but did I do that twice? No, I didn't. Did I skip a stitch? Might have. Anyhow, if anything, then I would because that is not the piece yet. Right, that's first up here. Okay, then I did it correct. I see what the issue is. So, because on the back panel there is an extra row, so that's what's confusing me. So there is an extra row height here, and this is where I did the trick. So what I am gonna do here is I'll work in a double crochet, and then I work in a double crochet but not pulling through the last bit. And then I start working in the double crochet, so I work those two double crochets together and a double crochet, and then let's see, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1. That's not going to work out. That's not going to work out. At the same row that we ended up last time, I think. Row 30, 23, 30, 12, 20 some odd? I should know, but Jesus, that's a good question. I had written it down. It was on my notes, my counter, which is all the way down here. I'm on row 22. Or did I forget to change to 23? So I'm not moving there at all. I decided to focus on this one because it felt like we needed that, or I needed that, because this is the last project I have of the Advent Calendar series of the goals I had set for 2026, which means once this is done, my plate is clean. And we also have the other shawl that I'm working on, which is kind of pending. But the problem is that's an even amount, and I need to make that uneven somehow. If that is where we should head. On the other hand, it looked okay, but it wasn't that far. So 2 1 2 1 2 2, or I should do 2 2 and then 2. Yeah, I'll figure it out, I guess. 2 2 2 1 2 1 2. That might work better. Okay, we'll try that. Maybe. It's not uneven. That is the issue. Okay, so as I said, we have here a double crochet. Then we start the second double crochet, but we don't finish it. I work that into the next stitch, pull through the 2 first, and then we pull through all 3 loops. So we did a double crochet together. Which is these 2. And then I learned that if I wanted to try to do that, I need to do another 2, and then I should be able to do 1 2 1 2, I think. Right? No, because it's not uneven still. 1 2 1 2 2 1 2 1 2 2. Yeah, that should work. That should work. So we just remove a few stitches on the neckline. It's like 4 stitches removed. That's not too much, if I counted this correctly. And then we'll do 2 2, and then 2 2 1 2 1 and 2 2. Yeah. I'm trying to kind of spread it evenly out. That's a challenge. Oh my goodness, this yarn just wants to drop back into the box. I'd rather like it a bit loose laying next to me. But yeah, it would be really nice once this is complete. And we have hope. I mean, we are on a really good way there. So we may finish today. Unless we frog again and again. And I was really debating last night, should I just frog it and do it last night? And then I was like, nah, I'm just not in the mood. Because I had already frogged the last bit from Wednesday's live yesterday too, when I started on this. So it was already this feeling of, I already frogged you once today. How often can you frog it before it gets noticeable? Let's see. This is the corner turn. So we do 1 double crochet, and then we'll have to crochet 2 together, but 1 in this space gap and 1 on this next side space gap, like that, and then another double crochet, and then we'll rough down all the sides. And then I don't really remember what I do at the other side, but we'll have to check when we get there. I should be fine. What did I do here? I did, I think, add 1 in each, didn't I? I did, yes. And then it's 2 in every gap all the way down to the corner. But how far did you get, Jessica? Did you finish it already? I mean, you're a quick woman too. Oh. We do have a reasonable pace in this. We are going to get up and get it on again. Just check if what we've done actually did help. I mean, we removed 60 stitches, but not 60, 30 stitches. So technically that's a fair bit of stitches, right? Like that should be enough. It wasn't like it was bending extremely outwards, just a bit. So yeah, this weekend I'm gonna go on a little trip, but it's more like a local trip. Further than that, no insanely big plans. Probably sleep out on Sunday. That would be nice. So we are getting closer to the edge down there, and the yarn in my crate is getting less, but I mean, I'll probably need to wind it up regardless, because obviously I've used more yarn than what I thought necessary. Because now we are removing even more stitches, and I removed 4 in the neck and a 30 in the whole bit bottom around. The neck was technically okay, but it was more to kind of make it somewhat similar. I am insanely curious as to if it's enough. I hope it is, but I don't know yet. Mhm. Then we need to work in all the double crochets here to make the corner. So it's 2 extra stitches in those 2 stitches. And then Stina gotta check the other side. Did I start with a, or I should say, did I end that one all the way over here with 2 before the corner? Corner 2, corner 2. I did 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay. Then hopefully we can officially say this one has been finished. I mean, that would be so nice. I'm really happy that I can quick fit test myself. I mean, it kind of helps me verify the fact that I am happy that I don't just follow the pattern blindly and then cut off. I'm starting to understand why some people like their big crochet hooks. Goes nice and quick. I mean, that's definitely a win, right? Like, this works up so quickly. That's also why we have to pull yarn all the time. Then we are going to do a new fit test in a few minutes to see if it looks better. What did I do over there? Did I set one in each? It's bad, I don't remember. I only placed one. Okay. Need to make it identical on both sides, else it's gonna look weird. Oh, I need to make sure I watch this yarn or I give it a knot. That is not what I want to do. But yeah, I'm trying to think what's handy dandy for the yarn talks and versus going live. Both have their benefits and disadvantages. Oh goodness. So I don't know if I need to. Yeah, so far the yarn talks has just come in as they have been useful. And a part of me is thinking if I do one on Friday, next week Friday, that could end up being useful because I have an appointment with a dentist in the morning. And then I'm not so sure if I feel like chit-chatting all day long. So that might be a better option for me. But on the other hand, any anesthesia should have worn out in the afternoon because obviously this is my afternoon. So I should be fine. So I've been thinking like every 3 to 4 weeks maybe. It gives plenty of time to have finished projects to talk about. I used to do them weekly. And then they went bi-weekly. I generally see mixed views on them. Some of them are popular, some of them are less popular. And to some extent, it's also how do I get the most valuable time out of my time, if that makes sense. The yarn talk does not necessarily take 3 hours of my time. We're going live. well, I can also do them shorter, but that does take more time out of my time. So it kind of also depends on what I other want to get done and obtain and succeed with. I do have a fair few projects in my mind, and that will need time off camera too. That's different. That feels different than what I just did. But I should be okay just working in a... How would that be different if they're supposed to be similar on each side? That's what I'm not understanding. Because technically that should be 2. Did I start something else? I'm just comparing them side by side. Yeah, that's that one. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that matches actually. Okay. So technically we are sort of done here. So if we do like this to prep sewing these together. The real question is, because it does still a little bit, doesn't it? Did we remove enough? And I'm just gonna, because that's also a little bit due to how they are crocheted on. So a little steam would probably fix a lot. I mean, if I'm trying to do that. So these sides should be equal to what I should do. I just should do like this on one side. This on the other side. They still go out a little bit, which is not totally crazy. It does seem less. Should be less, because on this whole round, if we take this as a round, we've removed what, 30 stitches. This is the width of a stitch, so it should be all right. Oh, you can't see all of that on the screen either. Ah, sweet pea. What are we gonna do? Gonna pop over here. Are we gonna try it on? Worst case scenario, I can use my monitor, I guess, as a mirror. Now I have the yarn in that side. And here, that's the amount of yarn that I didn't use, which I did remove. The 30 some odd stitches. I mean, still look a lot nicer if now I have the yarn from that way. Maybe I need to do like this. That would be better. Yeah. So it's still a bit, but it's a lot less, right? It's like normal, I guess. Because if, like, let's assume I would pull a bit on it and stretch. Now we add buttons. It closes nicely. Like if I would pull a lot more on it or not, any vest you will have would sit loose to some extent. Like it's not keeping stuck unless you do something to it. I think we're pretty good now. Don't you? Any thoughts? But I do think we're pretty good. I feel, yeah, because if I pull out a lot more here, it's you know, it's not gonna have to fit. So I think we're actually good. I mean, it looks nice here in front as well. And I can still, like, if I really wanted to, I could stretch it for buttons. That would actually close it up nicely on the back, if that's the direction one wanted to go. I'm just not sure if the buttons are meant to be like there, so I would have to pull them all the way over here. And if that's the case, it's a little bit too stretchy maybe. But it's also nice just loose. And I do think some of this will go by time. It's just about, you know, the stitches getting used to sitting where the stitches are and so on. Yeah. Think we are good. Jessica says looks good. Borders can be very tricky. I rarely add them on blankets because of high likelihood it will ripple. It's not like too ripply. It does have a little tendency of wanting to curve, and I do understand why, because if we look how the stitches are on the other side. But I think if I feel it becomes an issue, I have a steam blocker, and I know it's acrylic, so technically acrylic blocking is not the best idea. But with a light steam block, this might actually hold and keep the acrylic in that shape. I've steam blocked acrylic before successfully, but you need to do it carefully. Susan says maybe add another round to add weight. I guess one could, but it's not the goal, because then it gets too long in the neck. I totally forgot to check how it looked in the neck. Can we go far enough back? No, because it's too high to actually practically see, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. I only took out like 4 stitches in the neck, so that really shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, but if I add more length for weight, it's gonna add too much on the neck, and I'll end up getting like a yeah, like I don't know what it's called, but it gets too much materials, or I would only have to add it to the bottom, and that might look funky too. I'm happy. I think I'm happy. I think it's a wrong word. I'm happy. I am happy. Though generally I would say it's a good idea if it was only like if it was worked in the round. Well, it is technically worked in round, but it's because it's worked like everything that's not the sleeves, basically, that's worked fully around. I could single crochet around the neck and front. I could. But yeah, I don't. Single crochets does tend though for me to add it does tend to tighten it up a bit. You know what I could do? I could add a few stitches of single crochets just to check how it would look and then make a decision. I can be finished. I am technically finished. Like according to the pattern, I'm finished, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, for funsies, check it out. Like, what could this be? If one wanted to add a row of single crochets. I'm just gonna have a look at how it looks. Though I'm not sure if it would prevent the curve, because the actual curve comes from the double crochets because of how they lay on those stitches. And it's less now because there's also fewer stitches. But we'll do a few stitches here just to see how a potential added single crochet row could look like. But I'm not sure if I feel that it's needed. It adds a little bit more height to it, but I'm not super keen. I realized I didn't pop you guys back down. So here I did, let's say 5, 6, 7 single crochets, which is okay. But I mean, I'm not sure if it's needed as such due to the double crochets. And we have the single crochets here as well. Then these should maybe have been trebles even, which would have been even longer. I think it makes sense just to end it here. I don't think I need that. No. But the idea was good. It had potential. Cut. Now I have yarn left. Not sure what we're going to use you for. I'll figure it out one day. What I am going to do is I'm probably going to have to wind that one up differently because I can't put it away like that. That's definitely gonna tangle. So we are going to have to wind the ball up. But I can't consider it fully finished either because it's kind of like, I don't know, there's a quarter of a skein left ish or so. It's the same as if I would double strand like 2 of the XLs. And if I'm not wrong, the Amigo yarn is actually on sale this week. This chunky yarn, if one would feel like it. Can't say I feel a lot like it. But it's been quite okay to work with, actually. It's definitely not a bad yarn at all. It's pretty okay to work with, and it's okay soft also. But I mean, it could turn into a nice chunky beanie. There's just not enough yarn. It could produce a stripe. Or I would need to, I would need to double strand something. I mean, technically, this is like what? 3 strands that's spun together. So what we are gonna do with this yarn, I'm gonna add it to my acrylic scrap stash, and then maybe I'll have enough to make a basket at some time or something. I mean, scissors. I think they could be fine for that. I also still have a bit left of the emerald or petroleum. One of them is petroleum. I think this is petroleum and this is emerald green. I also have some left there, but as I said, again, not enough to make a real project from it. It's just basically really scraps what's left. But we could still make something at some stage. Or maybe there's enough to make an amigurumi or whatever. I just need something that's just one colored. I did get a new small book. And of course, there's also the crochet book coming out by Sakdo. So Crochet Misadi also has a new amigurumi book coming out. And then, of course, there's the reality that I do have a lot of these. I've done reviews in the past of these mini amigurumis, which maybe there is something that could fit in there. Obviously, this one would turn into a bit bigger one because it's thicker yarn. But maybe there is enough to make something funny. I will have to check. But their idea is good. And then we have one more end right there. Done. I am ready. No yarn attached. Sweet. I mean, it's officially finished. And you can see, like, if you look at the back bit here, then you know why it wants to curve a bit. So it's just a question of getting it pinned down, and it needs to get used to the stitches. So that is where a milestone block could fix some things, because that can make the acrylic bend more towards the wishes. Ta-ta! It feels really wide like this. Lay it flat. But it's not that bad. Awesome. Project finished. That is the coolest thing I've done today. Finito. Hope you like this one. I do see this one is popping out. And it shouldn't, because this is the outside. So why did this one pop out here? But yeah, it shouldn't. So not sure. But it's a very short end, so we'll just trim it. Maybe I did not do it nice enough when I did leave it in. So yeah, we have a waistcoat, and I'm definitely inspired to make similar or use some of these designs to adapt to future items. Like, there is definitely potential for sure. The pattern was okay to follow. I did have to read it a couple of times, but in the end, once you get the hold of it, it was pretty straightforward. That was a drops pattern. Awesome. That means that I can basically put away my crochet hook, my 7mm. I'm not going to use that. I'm probably going to put it, I should put it in my bag where the rest are. But before I do that, what I think we're going to do, I mean, this yarn has to go in my scrap pile, because that's how it is. I mean, I can't just have it here, and I can't stuff it back in. So I have two options here. I can take this and tangle it around here, which of course I could try. Maybe that would sort of semi-work. Then take it, because it's that far, and then take it and wrap it around the label here. That would probably be the quickest method to keep this one a bit under control. But now it's a scrap. It's a scrap bit. I guess there's, I don't know, 25% left, 30% at best. But yeah, it's just gonna go to my stash of yarns. So the other one I have here is also a bit floppy. That's the other yarn. That's the last bit I have left of that one too. There's like, I don't know, half a skein at best. Now I need to double strand 2 of these to get this. They work nicely together, but there is definitely not enough to make a straight up project unless I am somehow creative. But I am gonna put them both into my nice bag to help keep track of them. Then actually I could put this one on the side. Get some air out of it. Because that goes into my scrap pile. They have already been removed from my Ravelry account, but they're not counted as used games because they're not fully removed, right? And we also have my crochet hook I need to get done. And this is what I mean. I get them, you can get them as packs. This is the big pack of the big hooks. 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12 millimeter. And then if you want their 15, you need to buy it loose. The downside is, I think, 6, 5.5, 5, 4.5, 4, something like that. Or there is a place where there's a gap. I don't remember which, because there's also 5 in it. So no, it isn't a 5.5. It's 6, 5, 4.5, 4, and 3.5. And the 3 millimeter you also need to buy loose, which is quite tiny. There are inclined hooks, really nice with wool. Good. Done and dusted. I did get some photos taken yesterday, so I need to get through all of those and some content for the bucket hats. So I need to get those on the website. But where we are at is the Veilwyn Shawl, and that's what I mentioned somewhere in my notes here, that we are going to work on this once we're done with the waistcoat, which we now are. I could craft buttons and add buttons to it right now. I don't feel buttons maybe are needed, so we will consider it done. And if we want to add buttons later on, I can still craft them and add them. We should be fine for that. So that's cool. I am super stoked. That means that all of our concrete project makes that we wanted to make for 2026, those 5 projects I've listed up, we have finished all of them. We did the days back in the beginning of the year, like January, February. Then we did the Simple Yet Effective cowl, which I sort of adapted to different, so that was a knit cowl. We've done the waffle stitch shrug. It's upstairs in those gorgeous royal blues. Then we did the Heart Collector shawl, which we finished about a month ago, bit less, bit around a month ago. And then today we finished the waistcoat. That's 5. That's all of those 5 projects we wanted to finish based on the December series that I made. We are definitely gonna have a new one of those in December, being like, this 2027 I am going to want to make these and these makes, but undecided which, when, and what. Good. I need to find the pattern for the Veilwyn Shawl. This one's at row 22, and I will need to check if that's indeed row 22. For those who's curious on the shawl I am working on, I am just quickly gonna pop over for the view. Here you can see it. That is the Veilwyn Shawl. I am making it in teal colors. I have a neutral white as well, or an off-white I think it's called, in the center, just like this one has. And then I started with, what is it called again? Green grass, or no, it's called ice something. Anyhow, I'm working from there outwards, and we are somewhere around here. So we definitely have a long way to go, and it is in the hobby yarns that I'm working up these. It's Hobby Twister. And we have to find which, I can't remember what row I'm on. I'll have to check. Well, I mean, you ask me to remember, you can't remember yourself. Okay, so look at this gorgeous piece. Ta-ta. I already did start because we had a color change last time. We just had the color change, first color change into a more tealy. And this is definitely where we are skipping some stitches, I can see. Because this is like the first bit of these bigger gaps. But if it says row 22 here, I'm sure it has to be row 22 because I didn't finish the row. Why else wouldn't it say it? So chain 3, done. Skip 1, done. That's not what I've done. Because this one says 2 front post and then regular in the middle. And I did not do that. But when I worked it on the other side, I did. So I might be on row 23. Yeah, because here's a stitch and here's I skipped 2. That's correct. I'm on row 23. Let's just update my counter. I'm on row 23. Because I'm like, that's not going to add up. That's what I did the prior row. Okay. Okay. Chain 3, skip 2. Done that. 2 double crochets done. In the space. Yeah, done. 2 double crochets done. There's definitely a chain 4. And skip 2. Ta-dum. And then skip all of those with the front post, blah, blah, blah. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that should be probably be correct because it's like, oh, this is a lot of text. I really need to keep my tongue straight in my mouth here. Ooh. 2 double crochets. Yeah, I should be good. Just get up some yarn. I'm using a 3.75mm crochet hook for those curious. 1, 2, 3, 4. The yarn calls for a 3 to 4mm hook, so a 3.75 is just exactly in between. Others say 3.5 to 4.5mm. Kind of depends, I guess, on tension and all of these things. I just did a project with the exact same yarn where I used a 3.75 and I think it worked out nicely. So I guess that's the low-key easy decision as to why I decided to go with this. And I have to say, now when I've just worked with a 7mm hook, this is small. I mean, it's half the size. But we should be fine. Row 37, yeah. But you also had more time to work on it than me, and like I focused on other projects in between. So that's fair enough. I wonder, did it actually have all of them? So the cut I'm using is the Hobby's Mermaid, the Hobby Twister Mermaid. I'm just gonna see if I can find the twister. Currently it's not on sale, which means it's expensive. Here is the color, but I'm just gonna pop it up for you. Mermaids, that is the colors I'm using. And I'm just done the color change and working on this bit new. I'm putting from the center. So the glacier is this central green, and then it goes to the next teal. Let's just see how many it has. 22, 23, and 107. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to see what colors they have. 122 is glacier, and I'm quite sure we're heading into the mint. And then, of course, teal is the 107, which is the outer edge. But that means that somewhere in between here is a color that's not defined. Or this could be the mint. I'm not sure. This color here, it's not defined. Anyhow, I'm sure it's going to be gorgeous. Oh, that's peony. That's a red one. I'm wondering if turquoise isn't there somewhere. But it probably isn't, because normally these numbers are correct. Anyhow, not important. This, my friends, is the yarn I'm currently using. I did get it on sale, so I did not pay 35 euros for it. If you buy 6 right now, you get it for 24.50 per piece, multiplied by 6, so it's like 150 euros almost, which is expensive also. When they're on sale, on good sales, you can get them for around 20, maybe a bit less. The really good sales are for less. But there is, further than that right now, no really good deals. There are some things I'd like to get from Hobby, but I mean, it's not a life necessity for me to get. And I have more than plenty of yarn. I mean, currently my stash claims that I have 14.5 years, and I am not yet done. I probably have another 8, maybe 9, somewhere between 8 and 10 episodes left of sorting my stash. So maybe 2/3 at best of the way. And we are gonna head into some cakes again. That's my platter cakes, and they also have quite some yardage on them. And of course, all my ice yarns. I do have a fair bit of ice yarns as well in my stash. So yeah, I still have plenty of yarns we need to get through. I mean, if what's already stashed currently is 14.5 years, do I need to say more? No, I do not. I just should shut my stash. That's what Susan would tell me. Of course, once I finish this shawl, that is another nice dent in the consumption of yarn. It is going to go a bit quicker than the hat collector shawl, because here there's only the one cake I'm working into it, plus the bit I started on here. This is a solid cake, different color. But yeah, it has a fair bit less yarn. So it should work up quicker. Technically, I could be finished at the end of the month if I'm really focused. Could be not a bad idea. And then I could bring the other shawl that I'm working with me to Denmark. I need something there. um, to work on. And well, it was also with me last time, and that is that's where it almost went wrong. I mean, I forgot. Not that was the time after, but I kind of forgot it on the aircraft. And I had to wait to get it picked up. Oh my goodness. I still haven't finished it. I started it in March. I mean, it's just looking and laughing at me. Okay, it's different here, so I need to read. Skip 2, done. So I don't need to chain 4 actually. I need to frock this bit. Frock 4 stitches. That wasn't too bad. Okay, so skip 2 and a front post. Skip 2, blah blah blah, front post. Yeah, okay, so it's just 2 in each. Well, 2 2 2. That's easy. Easy goes. What colors is you making? Are you making your Veilwyn in, Jessica? Just a full curiosity. I mean, apparently I have a really green period right now, or a teal period, because we just did the waistcoat in teal colors. So I definitely need a different project that's not necessarily teal related. I do often have some blues or some greens, or oh, well, reds are also not uncommon. But yeah, I'm probably having to jump into a bit into the world of the amigurumis, and then we'll see how that goes. Because, as I said, I wanted to make the bat, and I also have a few other things that I'd like to try out to make. Plus, we also have all of these tiny ones, and maybe some of those can help me use up a few scraps. I also have some knit projects in my planning. I have an idea of a hat design, but I am not sure if it's gonna work out as how my imagine says it's gonna work out. But we'll have to find out. Okay, so let's see. Before the center, front post, skip 2. Then we have 1 left. Repeat onto the 1 stitch before the middle. Yeah. 2 double crochets. Okay. And a chain. Oh, I do apologize for the yawning. Apparently, it's hard. So normally all my dinner folks, they're gone. But what's for dinner? We are gonna have rice with some chicken meatballs and a satay sauce, which is like a peanut butter sauce. So it's just plain. And then, of course, 2 fried eggs on top. So a fried egg for me and a fried egg for my partner. That's pretty much it. So it's easy comfort food, some would likely say. But sometimes easy food is also good. I tried something new yesterday. So our current supermarket has this deal at the moment that it's like a spin and win. So if you have done for X amount of groceries, then you get X amount of tickets to spin and win. And you can then win either 50%, 70%, 50% discount on one item, 70% discount on one item, and the item is then displayed on this spinning thing in the app. Or you can get a product for free. And I won a product for free, which of course is awesome. It is actually made by a Danish company, also even produced in Denmark, and it's kefir. Kefir is a sort of yogurt without really being a yogurt. How can we describe that? So apparently it's supposed to be pronounced kefir. Kefir. But yeah, kefir is, or kefir is the same word in English. It's a tangy fermented milk drink, similar to a thin drinkable yogurt. So it's like a drinkable yogurt, but it's fermented milk technically. And it should, the process apparently causes it to, for example, lose most of the lactoses or lactose sugars. So it should be good for even people that's slightly lactose intolerant. But what happened is, so I tested it out, and I'm not really sure if I like it. I'm a little bit like, yeah, kind of feeling on it. And I had a mug of it, like if you would take a mug of drinkable yogurt or something like that, and well, digested it. And then last night or yesterday evening, my stomach was like very unruly and airy and doing weird things. So either this was really good for my gut or it wasn't good for my gut. But I mean, I had so much air in my stomach the whole evening, and that's the only thing I did different than I normally do. So that I'm suspecting that's it. So I may want to just throw the rest out and be happy I didn't pay for it because hey, I won it. I got it for free. I think in any case, for the price, I probably wouldn't have bought it and got it, um, unless it was a really, really good offer, in this case, free, because I wasn't really sure if it was my thing. And I'm still not 100% sure if it's my thing. I mean, it's okay, but I'm not sure if I would want to pay for it. I'm not sure if I'm that keen on it. And if that's the reason my stomach got all unruly, and then I'm like, maybe I then shouldn't do it. But I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, it's like a sour drink, sour milk like thingy because it's fermented. And yeah, I'm still not super sold. Did any of you ever try kefir? Just of curiosity's sake. Because maybe you have experiences that you want to share. Oh, don't split yarn. That is a no, no, no. Do not. Yeah. 2, 3, 4. So then we're soon done with this row. Gotta check out the next. Um, ooh. Yeah, okay. No, it's like volume discount thing. I was like, oh, is it on sale? No, it's not. I'm waiting on getting the Halloween yarns on sale on Hobby. That would be nice when they do. One, two, three, 4. But yeah, since we just had a color change when we started this, or well, we had it last time we worked on it, but I mean, I don't expect us to have color changes today. But of course, color change are welcome. But knowing how long it usually takes me to work up yarns of this before the color changes, I would say that in the last hour, that's probably not gonna happen. But you never know. I am though going to be back on Monday with the next live. Mm. Then we are almost at the last few stitches of this row. So gotta check, but I think it's like I need to skip them and just double crochet in the last, but I need to verify if that's indeed the case. Repeat until 3 stitches remain, skip 2, double crochet in the last. Yeah, I remembered correctly. I will flip the work around and, oh wait, before we move to row 24 because we just completed row 23. Well, maybe it's the completed row. and not the row I'm working on, because that I first flipped when I completed it. So I completed row 23, and that's why I got in the crazy cray and thought I was working on row 22. I get it. I get my system. It's kind of embarrassing. I forgot my own system. I tend to have a pretty good grip on my method and how I count things, but apparently I've so ever slightly forgotten. Good. So we need to chain one like that. We're done. We need to skip one and then front post, double crochet 3. Okay. You're okay. So we've done that on 3. Oh, I need to read the right row. That's why I'm getting confused. Then the center is the same as all the other centers, so that's easy. And then we need another 3 front posts. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip. Skip this one. Single crochet into the space. And then I assume we'll get another 3 chains. Skip 3. Okay, this is easy. Somebody's making noise outside. I don't know if you can hear it, but oh, blimey. It's like if somebody has a grinder turned on and keep constant pressure on whatever they're grinding. So it gets this wee sound. Or it's a honk horn. Like somebody keeps the horn in for something. Not sure where it is, but I can hear it. And I'm sure it's quite loud if I were outside. So now I'm going to be happy that I'm indoor. But it could be that my my microphone is really good at removing the distortion noise. Yeah, no, it would be somebody grinding because the noise is sort of different. Hmm. But yeah, this is in any case a project that needs blocking when done because of the front posts and back posts of the pattern. It makes them pop much nicer when blocked. And ideally before then, I've blocked some other projects of mine. But I can also see that my time isn't exactly increasing by any means. I mean, as we talked about in the very beginning of the stream, I just realized that I have like no free Saturdays until November, of course, unless I'm forced to make free Saturdays. Yep. I should be a clever woman and use what I have. So we talked at some stage about safety eyes and if I should maybe get different ones, but I'm like, I think I may have what I need. So, I mean, probably I really shouldn't change anything. Oh, it was supposed to be a front post, Stina, not just a regular double crochet. Mhm. So I wanted a scarf, or shawl, technically it is. I want to, I have some ideas for a hat or a beanie that I want to try out. And if it ends up nice, I guess I may want to try to see if I can write down a pattern. Um, I do also have some other things that I like to try out, and I have a heck ton of shawls on my to-do list. I mean, I have the majority of Ines from Red Teapot as her shawls, but I haven't made them all yet. But I do have a lot of her patterns. I also have a really, really, really gorgeous pattern from Christina from KME Crochet. That's also a shawl, which I think I got the pattern for in the spring. This shawl I got the pattern for in June because I think there was a sale on it. And when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I want to get it at some stage. Now when there's a sale, I should just get it. And I had the same when Christina launched her pattern back in April. There was like a launch discount thing. Let's see. Okay, so here I still do the same, 2, 3, because it is still technically the same, and then I need to read pattern. And a lot of these I can easily make with yarns that I have. We also have a couple of doilies I should jump into. I also have a pattern for some fingerless gloves that I think could be awesome to make. So, I mean, I am anything but bored. I have a bag that I want to make, but I think I'm going to put that into my 2027 projects. I have a feeling that would be a best match. Okay, so times 7, skip 1. Oh, I miss. No, I only did 2. Okay, frog back. I skipped a stitch. I need to do 3. Maybe I should check. Did I do 3 on all of them? Yeah, so far. Yeah, I did. It was just this one I forgot on. Like, oh my goodness. I would absolutely not be happy to need to frog later when I get back because I had forgotten it. That would not have made me very happy. But this one, at least I caught early. It was only 7 stitches or so I had to frog back. Oh, a bit more. 8 maybe, but still. Okay. 3. Good. Then skip 1 there. Then we need to back post. Skip 2. So that's the regular thing. Like we just did on the other side. The front post has just been replaced with back posts so that the line remains on the same side of the shawl. I hope you guys are making great progress on your projects. I mean, it's all silent right now, so I kind of hope you do. And I guess Lisa is sleeping out because she should have traveled home Wednesday. So hopefully she got home well. Like that. And then I need to check blah 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 into the chain space. That's this one. Right, that makes sense. I guess. Into the chain space, skip 2, that's for this one. Yeah, and then you have the middle. Yep. Okay. It's a bit funny. That's probably first the next row then. Okay. Gosh, I'm impressed with the ability to keep track when making patterns on how to do things. What people figure out and do. Mm-hmm. Also, don't forget to hydrate. We have another like 30 minutes or so to go, depending on where we land. Then I need to do the back post. Mm-hmm. There's a few plans I also have for things I need to get done. Like I have a priority list these days. um, next to sorting my stash and so on. I genuinely just need to get a better overview of things and get through. So, I mean, we've taken product photos of the 4 bucket hats, of these colorful bucket hats, and the plan is for all of those to go on the site, and it's just a question of getting them transferred and measured and posted. It's just been a tedious task I've been postponing, but genuinely I just shouldn't. I just need to get cracking, so to say. And of course, we have all of the other ones as well. Plus, we have a bunch of beanies, and it is slowly getting like autumn is inching by. Technically speaking, September is the first day, like 1st of September is the first day of autumn, and that's only 4 weeks away. And that means that people are also, when we get closer to September, going to be looking for some beanies, and I do want to have the opportunity to offer people beanies. And I do have a bunch of them just waiting for me to get the photos taken and uploaded and set. And yeah, really shouldn't be that difficult, one would think. Okay, so I did those with, yep. So it's, yeah, then skip those, and then it's directly onto the, so skip 1, 3 front posts, etc. Yeah, easy peasy, lemon easy. I could potentially also have made this shawl without um, using a different yarn for that center bit, but I just saw that original image and I was like, oh, that's gorgeous. So I got so inspired to do it in a similar way. I just had to find the yarns, and here we are. But shawls, I definitely have a fair bit of. Also, I have a bunch of shawls I really need to find time to block. I mean, it is going to cost me some time. That is just how it is. And I may just need to cave in, so to say, and getting it done. But I am really good at procrastinating, especially when it's things that's boring to do. You know, things that's fun. We like to we like to do first. But I need to be a bit better at making a priority plan for this is what I'm gonna do now, so to say. And henceforth, I need to be better at following it. And I just need to write a list up with all the things I want to get done. And you know, once I have a list, if I can just start ticking off things. So it's not going to be really important what I do first, but I just need to make this list of things I got to get done and then just tack them off right one by one. Hey, welcome back, Rev. We managed to finish and even ends. We concluded that it was a good fit. Ta-ta. The discussion was I could have done, which you can see, which is a bit of go. I could have done a row of single crochets, but decided not to. But yeah, we did. I did weave in ends, and it's finished. It has slight tendency, but I think, you know, the tendency that it is a bit loose on the back, but it's a bit of a general thing you will always have unless it's button tight. The pup date, or in other words, the update on the sweet doggy. The blood work did not show anything, so it's not an infection, and they gave me some cough suppressant pills. If that does not fix it, they will do x-rays. So the good news is it's not anything too scary. I guess that's good news at least, right? I mean, unless it's something in the lung self. But then the puppy should keep coughing. And if it stops, that's probably not the case. I mean, then it should be consistent. Like if pneumonia or whatever. And I have to say that's a really good service that the vet can do blood work so quickly also that they don't need to ship it off to a lab and then, you know, they call back next week with the results. They checked lungs and they were clear. Awesome. Like a scan or something? I mean, it didn't sound like they would x-ray them by what you wrote. Or just listen to them based on, you know, the stethoscope. Jesus. Apparently that's a difficult word too. Yeah, just listen with the scope. You can hear if it sounds off. So that's good if they sound clear. It could also just be that she got some sort of, I don't know, like some dust pollen in or whatever, and then eventually she coughed it loose. But you would never know if that's the case, right? But I mean, so meanwhile, we have almost completed 2 rows on the Veilwyn Shawl, but I did finish and woven ends. Look, it's right here. It's definitely a teal day, with this also being the teal colors. Thank you. It has a little bit, but as I said, if you would button it up, it would sit nicely. But when it goes loose, it's a little bit like, yeah, it hangs a bit loose away from the back, which is too unlucky, not the right word, not unlogical or illogical, because, you know, if it's not buttoned up, it's not kept in the front, and then it will lean a little bit back. And I can still add a button if I want to later on, if I feel like it's a necessity. The crochet bit is done, so I consider it complete. And it fits, as long as I don't need to add buttons. Adding a button would make it a little bit like slim fits. But I think I could probably like stretch it enough with a button, but then it seems a little bit as if it's on the smaller side. So if I'd want to button it up, I mean, then it would be good for me to do £10. Which, by the way, would be absolutely awesome. I would definitely not complain about that part. And then we are going back to the micro fitness, and me, I'm getting on the bike tomorrow, so I'll be active tomorrow. Yay! I'm okay, happy. Yeah, definitely, Rev. Susan got back from some yard work and needs to shower. Yeah, I won't blame you. You can also hang out for like 15 minutes, and then you can go to shower when I'm getting off. I don't know how desperate you feel like the shower, or if you want to hang out for 15 minutes with us. Up to you. I'd understand both. Rev, do you know when Johanna ships the share boxes? Well, I don't know, so maybe Rev knows. But still, I think it is awesome. Do you have any clue of the type of yarns you're getting? Or is it a surprise? He might be waiting for the last person to contact him. Yeah, it would make sense if he goes like to the post office once, right? Instead of having to go multiple times or multiple runs. Because that's just tedious work. I mean, would I go to the post office today and then again tomorrow? Yes, I would, if it happened to be that I had one customer buying, like, I had just shipped and then I had another purchase, and I would ship them as quickly as possible, definitely. Then I would, yeah. But would I do it if I knew they were all coming together, and then I would just go one with one big pile? I mean, that makes it like save your time when able. It was a giant mix and no idea what it is in each box. Oh yeah, so it's a bit of a surprise, so to say. What like were they like one and they were one, right? So they were like free boxes, so to say, it was like giveaways? Or was it like pay for shipping or pay X amount including shipping, and then if you sign up for it, then here you go? Because I totally missed that live. Ah, yeah, that people sent him and he gave it away. Ah, cool. That's also a possibility, right? I mean, I saw that was also on YouTube. One had found this like $80 Facebook sale on a bunch of yarns, like 4 bags of yarns or something like that. I would say she got a pretty darn good deal. Some of it was also vintage. And that reminds me, I used to sometimes also find great deals in the Facebook marketplace for yarns, and I would definitely get the yarns. And some of the yarns I still have in my stash are from those deals. And I'm still sort of keeping my eye out for them. But I am at a point where if I am to buy more yarn, especially those deals, it has not just to be a deal, it has to be a really good deal. Because, or yarns that I know that I will with 99.9% guarantee use, because else it's not worth it. Like I have too much in my stash right now. What I generally should do is I should get more things cleared out from my stash. And that we revert back to my to-do list. I mean, I do have some product photos taken. I need to edit them and make the listings and so on and throw them on the store. And when I've done that and that, I can do 4 other things too. So I do have a to-do list, so to speak. And that's why I wanted to also set up a new to-do list, because I do have, and I mean, I would like to say a crap ton, because that's just really what it is. But that would be not nice wording. I had to have a lot of shawls that I need to block, and I just need to prioritize getting it done. Which means that I need to be a little bit better at planning my things, and I probably just need to make this list of things that, you know, a to-do list, and it's not important when I do what, I just need to get it done. And I think I just need to pop straight over here until the 2 stitches remain, skip 1, and a double crochet in the last. My friends, this is the end of row 24. Click. 1 more round, done and joisted. Actually, it's a pretty nice place to stop, I would say. But we are, I think, gonna head into turning this work around, because I do have a little bit more time. And this is just a project that I'd like to get done also, obviously. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to have 1 more cake done and dusted from my stash? Oh, yes, it would. And Rev, I also concluded that I do have safety eyes, and I should probably just accept and use those safety eyes. And if I'd like to do it differently later on, I can do that, but I don't need to do that right now. Okay, I did that. Skip 2. 1, 2, and then 3 double crochet. So that would be in one of those front posts, and those 2 up there. Then we'll need to do the 2 center. And then another 3. So what I'll probably do is I'll do that over to that next side. That would make sense. So what do I need to do exactly here? Done 3, chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I need to single crochet in the single crochet, so that's down here. So that's a bit similar to what I did down here with the ones, right? 1, 2, 3. We get up, we start by skipping the 2. And then do 3. That is actually easy enough. I should get the shawl up. It tends to, like, when it hangs down, and it's not big enough to lay really on my lap, so it just hangs and drags. That's not really ideal either, so it's not that big yet, right? So I do need to be a bit mindful on how it's laying, because if it's hanging too much, then it just pulls in the yarn in an undesirable way. One, two, three. 2, 3. So this is technically quite easy. But the shawl is also like, you do need to keep track when you read the pattern, and you need to be able to visualize it. But I mean, it's chains, single crochets, double crochets, front post double, back post double. That's the stitches you need to be able to know to do this. I don't think either that it's a difficult process. It does help that you can recognize your stitches from row to row. And I would advise keeping track, like writing down when you finish a row or whatnot, but be vigilant at it. And then I don't think it's that advanced of a pattern. So yeah, I think I wouldn't say directly beginners can do it, but light experienced can. 2, 3. I should have a link to this pattern in the description box down below. For those being curious, it is the Veilwyn Shawl. It can be obtained on Etsy. I have a link to the designer on Etsy, so you can pick it up there at her Etsy account if you are interested. Her prices is also quite reasonable, I think. Yeah, it just seems loose. But it's not, it's just a stitch of the row prior. I'm not gonna frog that to see if I might be able to fix it. It should be all right. But as I said earlier, We are gonna be back on Monday if everything goes according to plan. Then Monday we are here on another live. Next week is gonna be somewhat busier for me though, but I should still be able to squeeze in my lives. My Thursday is pretty packed. My Wednesday is not my Wednesday, my Friday. I also have a dentist appointment. If I recall well, because they are gonna fix one of my teeth. If I recover as expected, I will be live Friday as well. And if I don't, then I am so sorry. Not much to do about that. Shower done. Thanks for joining. My pleasure. I don't know. Did you did you have the phone on the YouTube in your shower running or so? You could listen to my crazy rambling. I'm just rambling along. My pleasure, I guess. I am gonna do these two last tips, and then we will call it the end of today's live. That allowed us to do bit more than 2 rows on this shawl, plus we frogged and again finished the waistcoat, which is awesome, which means that all of the projects that I had set out to do and complete in 2026 has hereby been completed, and the rest of 2026, my friends, is free for me to choose. Yippee day. Now that's pretty awesome, actually. I am gonna figure out some, probably maybe I'll see if there's still some small projects I can bring with me to Denmark, but I think I may say that the water pearl shawl is what I need to bring with me there. I think that could be a good idea because it's not a cake, it's smaller skeins, right? So it is easier to bring with me on the go. And I should maybe see if I can find like a small tiny thing if I want to do something alternative, like I don't know, maybe yarn for a knit something, but that is undecided yet. There is still a few weeks for me to decide. I mean, I have a good 3 weeks to find out what I want to bring. So yeah, we should be fine on that. Welcome back to Shower Thoughts with Susan. Susan, do you pronounce your name Susan, Suen, or Susan? Susan. Oh, good question. Suen or Susan? I would say Susan, but that's based on how it's written, I guess. And based on how the names I know in Danish with similar names, but of course, that's just an assumption. If it's correct, that is a different avenue to explore. Or if it's appropriate way of pronouncing it. I assume if I pronounced anyone's name too far off, please do tell me. I mean, don't keep laughing off me or keep offended. I'd rather have you just say, hey, you can pronounce it like this. Let's see. So that was the last tip. And I think I just need to skip to and front post. And then it's basically what we know all the way to the end. So we just do the front post here. And then I'll insert my stitch marker. Totally ho. Then I can show you guys how we are looking. So that's a bottom. I really like these front post, back post, kind of make the edge here. They will they will pop a lot nicer when we have blocked it. Then up here, you can see as well that they are starting to kind of flare out here. Again, we are talking about bits and bobs here in the pattern, which will be so much nicer when it gets blocked. And I now see the point of these front post, back posts up here, because that does change the angle of those bits here. They do get sort of like laid front or laid behind. And I really like how it's looking, I have to say. So, you know, I am pleased so far. I am pleased. We are progressing nicely on this shawl. I definitely still have a bunch of shawl to do. I will probably have done a bit of crocheting until Monday. And given the fact that I now only have 2 projects to go, I mean, we still have the other shawl, right? The water pearl, which I talked about bringing with me to Denmark. And if I do that, then I'm probably not going to crochet a lot here. Then I'll just bring it with me there. That means that I'm probably going to find something else as well, maybe this weekend. I mean, it could be that I find the amigurumi stuff. Susan. That works to me. When you unread your name, I realized, oh yeah, that's probably right. That's pretty. That is pretty. Yeah, Susan. Definitely. Let's see. Let's get back to the sweet, sweet face of mine or something. I think we ended up pretty neat. Also with a finished waistcoat. Oh, ta-ta! Can't complain. Thank you so much for hanging out today. It was absolutely freaking wonderful to have you guys in my company, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. Thank you, Rev. I am really pleased with how this worked out, and we are gonna wear this when it gets colder. Right now it's a little bit too warm to wear, but it's ready for the autumn. And I would say, yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you're rewatching this live, then thank you so much if you got all the way to this point. Love you all. Take care. Happy crafting. And I'll see you either in another video or I will see you guys on Monday at 2 p.m. Central European Time. So about 8 a.m. Eastern, etc. You get how that goes. Have a great weekend all. Take care and happy crafting. Bye.